Hey, hope you're having a great day. In today's video, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. If you don't know anything about me or my channel, I teach people how to earn college degrees really fast and save a whole bunch of money in the meantime. And I'm talking bachelor's degrees in just a couple of months. But here's the thing, not every single major is easy to accelerate. There isn't an accelerated, clear-cut path for every single major. Some majors are really hard. So I'm gonna walk you through the 10 most difficult or hardest college majors according to the internet. And I'm going to walk you through how I would accelerate these degrees if I was going to get them. I earned a bachelor's degree in 9 months with a full-time job and a wife and kids. I've helped other people earn bachelor's degrees as fast as 3 months. So you can go really quick. Let's find faster paths for the 10 hardest college majors according to the internet. Now, these are in no particular order, but I'm listing 10 of the most frequent that I would find as I was doing Google searches for most challenging majors. The first of which, let's talk about architecture. Now, architecture is not a hackable degree with a clear-cut path to acceleration. But something that I have in mind is most architects don't just want a bachelor's degree, they also want a master's degree. So if I'm going to be an architect, I would hack the fastest, easiest bachelor's degree I can, maybe something like a business degree, and then I would go traditional, take the traditional path for my master's degree. Well, let's say I got my bachelor's in 6 months, and then my master's took me 2 years. You're 2.5 years for a higher degree, like 6 years worth of school. Well, something I will point out, architecture degrees can be a little more challenging to get into. So a couple things that I would do is, number one, if I'm taking a degree where electives are allowed, I would take creative electives where you're learning like design or drawing or things that architects actually do. Also, you can go earn outside credentials for architecture. For example, Harvard University has what's called their GSD Design Discovery Program. It's like a 3-week program that you can take during the summer, and all of a sudden you have the credential that you did that program. So if you have a normal bachelor's degree plus something like that, then go start applying for master's programs. Guess what? There's a good chance that you're going to get in to those high-end architect master's programs. Now, I will say, before you go through with any of these strategies that I'm laying out, make sure you map them out with your school. Like, don't just go take some random degree planning to get into your favorite architect school or your favorite program you've been wanting to go to your whole life without asking them ahead of time, is this going to work? Is this going to open the door? But if you map it out ahead of time, guess what? You just saved yourself several years of college and a bunch of money. The next one I want to talk about is nursing. Nursing degrees, and you might have seen some of my other videos being like, hey, you said nursing degrees are easy. Well, if you approach them right, they aren't that difficult to accelerate. However, it's a little bit different in every state depending on where you live. So I'm going to give you 2 options. First, if there is a 100% competency-based and self-paced RN program in the state that you live in, start hacking your nursing degree from the RN. The BSN and the MSN, so the Bachelor of Science in Nursing and the Master of Science in Nursing, those are a lot easier to accelerate online. You can do those really quickly if you do it right. And if you don't know how to hack these degrees, I'll show you how at the end of this video. But if you can hack the RN, hack it. In a lot of states, there are literally no self-paced RN programs out there. If that's the case, there are what is called bridge programs. I call them bridge programs. Basically, they're called ABSN programs, Accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing programs for non-nurses. So essentially, you can get any bachelor's degree that you want and then transfer into a BSN program that takes you 12 months. So let's say you went and hacked like a healthcare management degree because you want to be a nurse and you want management skills as well. Let's say you hacked a healthcare management degree in like 6 months, then took an additional 12 months to become a BSN. You're talking 18 months to do 4 years of nursing school, and you're saving yourself a lot. Now, Some states, some situations, you can hack from the very beginning, but with the RN, you can't accelerate the clinicals that you have to do in the hospitals. You actually have to do those. So you got to figure out what state and what programs, but there are, no matter what, no matter where you live, there are faster ways to do this. The next one I want to talk about is the sciences. Now, there are a zillion types of science, so I'm just using just one category for the sciences because you could basically fill this entire list of most challenging degrees just with science degrees only, but sciences in general. Now, for me, sciences, there are hackable science degrees, but not how you would think a science degree is. There are hackable science education degrees for people who want to be science teachers. Now, hear me out. If you don't want a science education degree, that's okay. But what if you hacked, let's say you wanted to do biology. If you did a biology education degree that has all the same biology classes, and then you transferred to a master's program in biology, guess what? You're going to another degree where you're like 2.5 years of school and you're doing 6 years. So there are some creative ways to do this faster by looking for maybe some education science programs instead of just straight science. But keep in mind, you're not stopping there. You can go get the niche science degree as a master's program after the fact. So you're getting a higher degree in less time. The next one I want to talk about is computer science. Now, computer science is a challenging subject, but there are clear-cut paths to just hack a computer science degree from the very beginning for your whole bachelor's degree. So what I recommend is find 100% online competency-based education programs and make sure it's totally self-paced and has flat rate tuition. And the reason I like flat rate tuition, if you go and accelerate an entire 4-year degree in 6 months, you only have to pay for 6 months of school. If it doesn't offer flat rate tuition, you still have to pay for 4 years, even if you did it in 6 months. I hope that makes sense. So you can literally just hack an entire computer science degree, even though it's a more challenging subject. Now, let's talk about engineering, because lots of engineers want to do their degrees faster, but there are not a lot of paths to be able to do this. Now, engineering is a challenging field, but leads to really high-paying, high-end jobs. So you don't want to be like, oh, engineering degrees are too hard, I'm just going to go do something else, because engineers make a lot of money, right? So here is something that I would do. There are a couple different approaches that you can take. First off, if another major gets you into your engineering program, you can go that path. Now, I like computer science. We just talked about computer science. I like computer science majors for engineers, then going to get a master's degree in engineering, because computer science, you're using your brain and you're solving your problem. You're just doing everything computer-wise and digitally. And then engineering, you're learning further, I guess, creative building type skills on top of that, and the two combined can marry pretty well. Now, having said that, a computer science degree is not always going to get you into an engineering program, or a business major is not always going to get you into a master's in engineering program. But there are these pretty cool programs. I'm going to use Boston University as an example. They have what's called a LEAP program. And essentially what it is it's a master's degree in engineering structured for students that don't have bachelor's degrees in engineering. And they bridge you and give you those extra kind of bachelor's level engineering skills, and they bundle it into the master's program, but it's still only 2 years. So let's say you went and hacked a degree in 3 or 6 or 9 or 12 months for your bachelor's, and then you did a 2-year LEAP program or bridge program where you're being taken from a non-engineering degree to a master's in engineering. You're talking 2.5 years and you have a master's degree in engineering. That's crazy. That, like, it's almost unheard of, but it's possible if you map this out from the beginning. The next one I want to talk about is political economy. Came on, like, I saw them pop up, or this major pop up on most challenging majors lists. Here's the thing. There are oftentimes hackable majors that are so similar to the challenging major that they're going to open all the same doors, but the major's just a tiny bit different. Now, for political economy, for example, there is a major, it's actually offered by the University of Maine at Presque Isle. It's called their Your Pace program. It's 100% self-paced. And it's called History and Political Science. Well, political economy, political science, guess what? Most of the time, those two majors are going to open the same career doors and get you the same jobs. But one of these majors you did in a few months, and the other was going to take you 5 years. Yeah, it should be a no-brainer. And obviously map it out and make sure the major is going to get you the job that you want. If it is, take the easier one. Now, this is really common where like a challenging or difficult major has a major so similar, but it's hackable and easy to get. You just need to research this and study it out and find the faster path before you start school. You can save yourself 4 or 5 years just by mapping it out from the beginning. The next one I want to talk about is fine arts. Now, here's the thing. I don't know of any paths for accelerating fine arts degrees. Fine arts would be like dance or music or theater or photography. These are hands-on degrees where you can't just take and like go jump into an online self-paced program and not be there in person, like playing music and things like that. But I want to tell you something. I want you to look at these numbers. Career earnings for people with fine arts majors are terrible. The average earnings. Median early career earnings, so maybe like 25 to 35 years old, $40,000 a year. Mid-career earnings, so you're talking 35 to 50, I don't know, 35 to 45, 50, $65,000 a year. That, like, you go to college and work hard and do a really, really challenging major and then end up making little to no money for your career. You got to take a step back and ask yourself, is it worth it? Now, look at this. Average unemployment rate for someone with a fine arts degree is over 12%. Like on a good year, the national average is like 3 or 4%. That's not good. So take a step back and ask yourself, okay, fine arts, why are you going to college? Are you going to college because you want to learn things that are interesting to you? Or are you doing it for a better career? If you're doing it for a better career, fine arts might not be the best thing. Now, let's say you're wanting to be a director for this big movie company and they tell you, hey, get a fine arts degree and you're in. Do it, okay? Because you got the guaranteed job. If not, you might want to take a step back and look. The next one I want to talk about is accounting. Accounting, guess what? Can be a really challenging degree if done traditionally. But if you hack the degree from the beginning, it's one of those majors that's really, really straightforward and simple to hack from the beginning. So 100% online, competency-based, and go for it, okay? Go get the accounting major and do it self-paced. You just have to find the right programs. And if you want to know how to do this, I'll show you how at the end of the video. But seriously, this is a degree that can be earned in like less than 6 months. So yes, it's challenging if done traditionally, but if you hack it from the beginning, it's not so challenging. The next one I want to talk about is education. In my opinion, I would not put education degrees on the top 10 most challenging majors, but I saw the education majors on a bunch of these articles all over the internet saying they're among the most challenging. Now, here's the thing. Education degrees can be hacked. There are hackable programs for education degrees. So once again, 100% online, competency-based, make sure it's flat rate tuition and that there's no cap for or limit for how fast you can graduate. You can go earn those degrees really quickly. Now, I also saw business degrees on these lists. That is absolutely false, okay? Business degrees, this is my opinion. Business degrees are the very easiest degrees you can earn in an accelerated way. So if you wanted to hack a college degree and do it really, really quickly, I'm a huge fan of just business degrees because they're broad and they can open a lot of different doors. And I've helped people earn business degrees as quickly as 3 months. So it can be done really fast. Now, these are creative paths, different alternative paths to earn really challenging degrees. But mapping out a faster path does not solve the problem of like, hey, how do I hack the degree once I'm enrolled in the school, like what do I do, or what schools do I go to? I'm going to leave a link to another tutorial down below in the description. I call it my degree hacking tutorial. If you want to accelerate, watch that tutorial. It's free to watch, of course, and hopefully that can help you save even more time. So if between these few videos you can save 3 or 4 years, I feel like these videos are well worth your time, and I hope that you love them. I hope that you like the video. This added value to your day. Watch the video down below in the description, and I will talk to you in the next video.